Go back real quick to Baranowski on the Baranowski. I said that right. For the ladder, he didn't get an at bat in the series, right?
No, he did not.
Are you guys aware that for slate 2, he finished third overall in the whole league without an at bat?
That's insane.
Crazy.
Hey, welcome back to Fade the Mahoney. I'm Mike. This is Trevor. We're joined by Brendan Baranowski. Did I do that right?
Yes.
Baranowski. We're previewing Cobras Wildcats slate 3. Thanks for joining, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. We tried to get another quad box with Drew Davis as well, but we couldn't make it work. So we'll do it without him. He's
a busy guy, huh?
Very, very busy, and didn't manage that first series very well. So we're gonna take some time to beat up on him since he's not here, if that's okay. Let's just start with the gambling preview. Brendan, I'd appreciate it after Trevor gives us the numbers, if you would chime in with any thoughts that you have. We do 3 different things here. Trevor will give us a money line on who's going to win the series. He'll give us an over under. He's getting stretched, ready to do it. He'll give us an over under for total runs scored. And then Trevor and I also do a weekly ladder bet, thanks to MLW Stats and Joey there, who do basically a fantasy baseball type scoring for all of the players. We do a draft there. So let's get to the gambling. Brendan, you let us know what you think about Trevor's numbers. Trevor, go.
Okay. So I've done a lot of research for these numbers today. I had some free time earlier today, so I actually went back and watched the series that the Wildcats and Cobras played last year.
Okay.
And I watched all of the series that they played this year again, probably for the 3rd or 4th time that I've watched through. So I actually have a lot of different notes on things. I'm just going to give you my numbers first, and then we'll get into the preview and breakdown segments after that. So as far as the over-under, last year the series went really high because they had one game that got out of control, which tends to be the case sometimes with the Cobras. Things can get a little wild. Yeah. And why the Cobras are one of the most difficult teams to line as far as an over-under goes. You could have a series that goes 25 runs, 26 runs. You could have some other series that, there's 10, 11, 12 runs. I set it at 17.5, which is where we've kind of found a lot of things, which is also tough to do considering how good our guest has pitched this season so far, how good, Kyle is and how good Sailor's been as well. So I think that you just have to pick a line that is somewhere in between and hope that one of those games doesn't go insane and that there's just kind of balanced scoring as a book.
Okay. But again, Brendan can only pitch 2 of the 3 games.
Correct.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that total, Brendan?
I like it. I think it's a good number. What we have last year for our series? What was that at? Like 20?
Yeah. So the 3rd game was 12-5. And the 2 games before that were 3-0 was the first game. And the second game, can't remember what the final was in the second game, but there was 20-something runs for sure.
So like obviously last year there's a ton of runs. And as me being more primarily a pitcher this year, I'd love to say, I'd like the under, but they're one of the best hitting teams, and they hit 2 off me last year. I'm obviously pitching better this year, but I don't know. I think it will go over, honestly, because Drew and Andy and Sean, they've seen Kyle so many times and they can hit him. And the Wildcats are probably arguably the best hitting team in the league, and I hope I can shut them down. But I would like the over on that.
I was about to take the over, and then you said you liked it, so I'm gonna have to think on that a little bit more. Do you know, is BN gonna be pitching the 3rd game?
Yeah, I think he will be for sure. He's supposed to be there, so he should be pitching the 3rd game. Yeah. And he pitched really well versus the Magic too. I mean, if we put up 1 run, he gets a win right there in regulation. So.
Correction for you. You gave up 3 home runs last year to the Wildcats. So you gave up 2 in the first game, And then
Thanks for that correction.
so that was, I thought it was such an interesting series because I wanted to go back and look and see when I made my number for the game, because I know that the fans are going to think that the Wildcats are big favorites in this series, right? So as a sports book, you want to create a number where if you think the edge is actually on the Cobras, you want to make sure that the people are putting the money on the Wildcats, obviously, or you want to break even essentially. But
Yeah.
so I think getting into the number here, I put the Wildcats at -145, and I love the Cobras at that number. So this is the way that I looked at it, because in the series last year, you pitched the first game and you pitched really well. You gave up 2 mistakes. You had the 1 mistake to Jackson and the 1 mistake to Kyle. There was a 2-run homer and a solo home run. Otherwise, you had 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Pretty good performance. You guys just didn't hit it all against Kyle.
Yeah.
And then in game 3, Drew started the game, and then he got wild in the 3rd inning. They brought you in. He brought you in an impossible situation with the bases loaded. You gave up a grand slam to Sailor. So they didn't really get to see you a ton. They saw you the first game, but that was pretty much it. And obviously this year, the way things have gone for you, that first series was kind of unfortunate with the way that it went down with Drew taking you out there in the 3rd inning against Robles. And then, obviously the last series against the Magic, you're pretty much unhittable. So although the Magic haven't hit anybody, but that's neither here nor there. So I do like the Cobras at that number, but I think this is a fair number given the way things have gone down.
Yeah, definitely a fair number. I mean, I don't know the last time the Cobras even beat the Wildcats in a series, but it's definitely a hump that we should be able to get over, and I think we can do it. I mean, you look back, we could be a 4-2 team easily right now if we win that first game versus the Mallards or even sweep the Magic. I think we're right there. I think we're good enough to. We just need a couple timely hits, and I like us in that bet. And that's what.
Yeah.
All right, so we're talking American League. Both of your squads are 3-3. American League far more competitive than National League right now, right? We all agree with that. You guys are 3-3. Preds are on top. At the time of this recording, Preds are 4-2. Magic are 2-4. So it's all bunched up. Trevor, as you know, the last several weeks I've been very opinionated on your numbers. Loud wrong, I guess would be the way to say it. Loud wrong. This, I mean, I kind of think you're a little wrong again, but I don't feel super strongly about it. I actually, for the first time, I think you have a little too much on the favorite.
So you think the Wildcats should be less of a favorite then?
That's what I think, but I've been wrong on all of these. So,
right. So I actually agree with you on that. I think it would make that's why I like the Cobras so much.
Yeah.
But I think as a sports book, if the bettors are going to take the Wildcats at 145, then you're obviously going to do it.
Yep. Yeah. At the time of this recording, everybody, the last couple that we've talked to, I thought Trevor was very wrong on the Diamondbacks number against the Gators, and I also thought he was very wrong on the Wildcats in the Toledo series, right, against the Predators.
Yeah.
And I think I bet both of those and lost badly, laying juice. So,
but at least I have that going for me, because when it comes to the ladder, it's been awful.
Yeah. Here's a new idea I've got, Trevor. Brendan, I need you to point to one of the corners above you, to the left or to the right, and that person's going to go first. Do it quick. Don't think. Just point. Trevor, damn it. Darn it. You get, no, it's probably best. You get first pick this week in the ladder. And again, at the time of this recording, Trevor has yet to win one of these. Zero. He's won 0.
How many times have you done it? Have you done
I think
it?
5. I think I've won all 5. It doesn't matter if he goes first or he goes second. I either pick the right person or he picks the wrong person. So yeah. Trevor, are you going to go with our guest here, or are you going to go not with our guest?
Yeah, this is an unfortunate situation to be in, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually going to go with our guest though.
Okay.
Because I like the Cobras that much in this series, and I think one of the problems the Cobras have had early on is trying to figure out their rotations. I think figuring out who's going to hit, figuring out what's going on. I think that going into this third series, they're going to have a better idea of that. And I'm hopeful that Drew will give Brendan some more at bats and give him a chance to show what he can do with the stick.
When you say more at bats, do you mean more than one at bat?
Yes.
Is that how many at bats you have on the season so far, Brendan? Is it one?
I have 2.
Oh, 2. Wow.
Yeah, the first game of the season.
It's very generous of Drew to let you bet twice in 6 games. Do you have any inside information, Brendan, on who will be starting game 1 against you tomorrow?
I don't know for sure, but I would imagine it's going to be Kyle, and they'll probably go Kyle game 1, Sailor game 2, and then who's ever doing better go game 3. And I know they both kind of gotten hit around this year already, so it'll be interesting to see who does better versus us.
All right. And then what about you? You are for sure pitching game 1 and game 2, or can you not say that?
I don't know for sure. It's usually if game 1 goes well, I'll go game 2, just to stay in the rhythm. But if it doesn't go well, maybe we'll go Sawyer. Or it also kind of depends if they go, if they switch their pitchers too. Because if Kyle shuts us down really bad and Sailor pitches game 2, maybe I'll stay and go against Sailor, hoping we can get some hits off him and get that win, so we can go to deciding game 3.
Hey, you never know either. Drew is the manager, and we love Drew, great friend of the show. I think the first MLW player to appear here, but you never know. Gus could pitch game 2, so
He could. Hey, he didn't do too bad versus Magic last year.
true. That's true.
You see where I'm having a difficulty here, Trevor. I just need to know who's pitching 2 games. That's
On the other side of things, you're saying, right?
Yep. I think I'm just going to diversify. Brendan, we have a slate long draft that we did as well for a competition. And with the 8th and final pick, I got Nick Saylor. So I guess I'll be going with Kyle then, just for a little diversification.
Yeah, we get both sides.
All right, so that's what we're doing. We're doing there. I gotta shoot. I'm gonna take the over, and just for $100, $100, I'll take the over, and I'm just hoping that Drew pitches a little bit, and then I'll.
I think Drew might be retired from pitching at this point. I think he might just have hung it up. They got enough arms there already, I think. But you never know.
Yeah, Brendan, talking about that, have you come up with a nice, respectful way to tell your manager to get lost when he comes out to the bump to take you off the mound in the 3rd inning of a close game yet?
No, but I just he hasn't done it at all since then, and it was pretty much like a learning experience. Like, we should just roll with what we got, and we talked about doing it with Sawyer in that Magic game about me coming back in for extras. But you can see the other side where Sawyer ends up losing that game, and everyone's saying, "Oh, you should have put Barron back in." Well, Sawyer's rolling. He's given up 0 runs, 1 hit through 3 innings. It's hard to take someone out during that situation. Yeah. But you see both sides of it.
Trevor, are you aware? I was talking with Joey a little bit today. Are you aware where our guest is on the through 2 slates, where he is on the ladder for the whole league?
I think it was number 3, if I saw correctly on Instagram.
I think it's 6.
Oh, was it? Okay, sorry.
Because he doesn't bat. Could you imagine where he'd be if he'd bat?
Sure.
Brendan, can you hit at all?
I can hit the ball. I'm decent at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough too, because it's not like it's a lot of these guys have seen Kyle and Sailor a lot. They've been in the league for a long time. You only had the 1 series against them, so you need to start developing your being able to see them. It's just like you're gonna get hits. You're a good hitter. You've proven it in other leagues and things like that. So one of my questions for you actually was, how much have you played against Jordan in other leagues and stuff like that? Because I was wondering that during that series, how much that played into Drew wanting to take you out at that point.
The funny part is I've never actually faced Jordan. I've been at tons of tournaments or not tons, but like a handful of tournaments with him, and we've never faced each other. So it's kind of the ironic part that our first meeting was in MLW.
Yeah. So
But
that's funny. It would have been the opposite of what I would have thought. He was thinking, okay, well, he's seen, Brendan a bunch in these tournaments, and like, okay, he's starting to get to him now today. But no, that wasn't the case.
no, it wasn't. Which I think Drew did think that we played each other before, but we just hadn't.
Yeah.
So he's just a good hitter, and he sees everything well. As you saw in the Diamondback series, he just hits everything.
Right.
You don't have a jersey on the site, right?
No, I do not.
Okay. What do we do to fix that?
I have no idea. I mean,
you can get a number 12 Coastal Cobras jersey. I see.
Right.
I see that on the site.
Yeah, Gus sells better than me, apparently.
Well, every episode we do a reminder, please go to the merch store, buy a jersey or 7. I've currently got 7. If I don't have your jersey, I try to mix it up. So thank you to Jorgie, to Drew, to Ryan, to Jason, all for coming on the show. And those who aren't on the board right now, Jimmy Norp, Jordan Robles, and Chris Cheatham. I think those are the 3 that are missing. All been on the show. All those episodes are in the archives. So please go and watch. Special shout out to Jimmy Norp, who was on the recap show a few weeks ago for their series against the Gators. He was very nice to spread the word on social media. And we've got actual people watching that episode, Trevor. Can you believe it?
I mean, it's about time, right? This is the best MLW content out there. Let's just be honest. So, it's good that the people are watching. I got some questions here for the Baron.
Okay.
First of all, do you like the nickname, the Red Baron, or is that do people call you that at all, or did we just make that up? I don't even know.
A lot of the MLW kids will always come up and call me that.
Okay.
A lot of people think they're saying Bear, so they'll call me Bear, that's my old high school nickname, so I roll with that too.
Okay.
I like it. I bought into it. At first, I was kind of like, but I like it now, and all the Cobras, those. After the Magic series, Sean Flynn sending me he's eating frozen Red Baron pizza after the Magic series, which I thought was hilarious.
It is a little. It rolls off the tongue a little better than Baranowski, which I'm scared to death every time I say it. I'm going to get it wrong. Again, if you didn't watch our slate preview episode where we did our draft, I drafted you in that. Trevor could have taken you, but he chose not to. So you roll with me, all right?
He took
Was
me
that before the Magic series?
No, you took Jimmy Norp and Dallas Allen, so
True.
You did okay, but
it's tough.
I still
how did Jimmy do for the ladder? How many did he get?
He did very well.
Yeah.
If he could get a little help from the teammates, they'd do all right. But for the slate long, Trevor begrudgingly, I think, took Cheatham with his last pick. So
that was a good last pick. Oh, he did it all.
So him and Jimmy in the first series, he's out to quite the big lead. So I'll happily lose this weekly slate. When you throw two no hitters again, that would help me quite a bit. So.
That sounds good. I'll go for that again.
Nice. My next question is about the All-Star game. I think you should be selected. I hope that you're selected. What kind of how will that feel for you? And are you excited about the All-Star weekend coming up?
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I've never played in a wiffle ball All-Star game, and it looked like a ton of fun last year, and obviously didn't have the greatest start to the season last year, so I knew I wasn't going to make it, but now I feel like I should, so I hope I do. And they always say how much fun it is, and they do the home run derby, so I'm excited, and hopefully I make it, and I'm on the team for it.
Will Drew let you bat in the home run derby?
My little brother and I were talking about it. We were like, what if you go to the All-Star game and you just hit a home run in your first at bat? How funny would that be?
That's great. Oh, that's great. I love it. Next question is, So the Cobras have an interesting roster because unlike some of the other teams, like there's so many guys on the team, and that can be hard, obviously, for a manager to deal with. And Drew has a lot on his plate. Does he get input from you guys as far as like what to do with the lineup and who to hit and stuff like that, or is it kind of just the Drew show?
He takes a lot of input, like you know, Gus kind of knows his role, and he knew it when he drafted him that he wasn't going to play very much. And then we got like the other five, and we kind of talk about like the first game against the Mallards, we wanted to run the 4-man lineup, and then he went back to the 3-man, and then they kind of versus the Magic, they were talking about doing the 3-man lineup again for game 3, and we kind of talked about it, and we said we should let Sawyer bat, which turned out being good. He got a couple hits because he's seeing the ball well. So it's kind of all of us together, and we talk about pitching changes too, like in that first game against the Mallards, we had kind of a longer conversation than seen about what we should do, and Sean and Andy were giving their input too, and it's everybody, but when it comes down to it, Drew gets the final decision, but he'll take our input still.
Gotcha. One other question about the team, as far as we talked to Ryan Crouch about their preparation and the work that they put in beforehand, especially with, kind of Ryan will emulate the upcoming pitchers' pitches. Do you guys do any kind of practice like that with the Cobras, or is it tough for that many guys to get together, to practice? Or
it's tough for us because, especially for me and Sawyer, we live on the other side of the state, so we're about 2 hours away from where they are. So I don't know if Drew and Andy and Sean play together, but Sawyer plays in another league in Kalamazoo with me. So we're always getting practice in, whether it's hitting or pitching, maybe in a different style. But I don't know if I think Sean, Andy, and Drew, they've gone out and hit a couple times together, and Drew will just throw to them. But nothing like a full team practice.
Gotcha.
How many different leagues do you play in?
I play in 3. So I play in MLW, I play in a Kalamazoo league, and I play in an East Coast league with Jordan Robles, Mid-Atlantic wiffle ball.
That's awesome. It's fun.
Yeah.
That's got to be a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Those other leagues, do they sell your jerseys?
They do not. I don't think they have a website. They don't have as big of a YouTube following either.
Gotcha. Do those other leagues have the speed limit things? Because I know in that first series against the Mallards, you had the speed limit issues in the first inning against Jordan. You had the big strikeout and then got called a ball because of it. That was probably pretty frustrating. But do you have any experience with that, and how's that been adjusting to that?
There's no other speed limits in the other 2 leagues. The mounds are further back though. But adjusting to the speed limit. So last year when I came in, we didn't have a radar gun. So it was all on an eye test. And I would say Drew, before the radar gun, Drew was one of the more harder throwers. So other pitchers would try to throw around the same speed as Drew, which kind of worked out, kind of didn't. And I'm fine with the speed limit as long as we have the radar gun.
Right.
So that it's a strict number and it's not just an eye test saying, oh, that looked too hard. And because that was a lot harder to judge,
Right.
But with the radar gun, everyone knows 72, that's the limit. And it works out. I like the warnings each inning. If I get close to the end of one, I try to use one up, gas one up on a 0-2 count or something.
Yeah, makes sense.
Get a nice strikeout.
Yeah, nice.
Could you just educate me on exactly how that works? Because I remember the last time we were talking to Jordan Robles, he had said something similar about if you're 0-2, whatever, and you haven't got one.
So,
but if you exceed something, isn't there a big penalty?
Yeah. So you get one warning each inning you pitch, and the warning is only for 73 to 74 miles per hour.
Right.
If you're 75 or above, it's an automatic ball. You don't even get a warning for it. But if you're like 0-2 and you can throw your riser or whatever, touch harder, and you hit that 74 for your first warning of the inning, doesn't matter. It's still a strikeout.
That is
it's kind of like you might as well use them.
Yeah.
some pretty remarkable accuracy, or whatever word I'm looking for, to know you could hit that exact pocket. It's interesting. You got anything else, Trevor?
Yeah, I mean, just to speak to that, you've seen the pitchers that have been the most successful this year are the ones that are skirting right along that speed limit around 71, 72. I know Dallas has done it all season, Jordan as well, and Brendan too. Just keeping it in that area, and Ryan as well. Ryan, the biggest adjustment Ryan made this year was being able to adjust to that speed limit, because he was the one who had the biggest trouble with it last season, and the adjustments that he's made, that's the biggest thing that's been for him.
Yeah, I know Ryan really struggled with it. Our series versus them last year was the first time we had the radar gun. So I know he really disliked it during that. And it kind of came to, he's got to either adapt or move on. And he adapted, and he's doing really well right now, which I'm happy for him with that. And that's kind of what everyone's had to do. Anybody that was at a harder thrower in the league, you got to find other ways to get people out. And sometimes that's adding more movement on your pitches or whatever you need, doing something funny on the mound, trying to throw them off. But yeah, you got to adjust.
He's also on my Slate 3 fantasy team. So let's go, Ryan. Excuse me. Trevor, I'm not sure if you're aware, this gentleman here is 23 years old. Is that right, Brendan?
Yes.
Okay. Can you help me? There's a lot I don't know. Most of the rookies, from what I've seen when they're drafted, are like young kids. Yeah. How was it that when you were drafted last year, correct?
Yes.
Not a young kid. How did that happen? How did you fall through the cracks so long?
I was playing at one of their regional tournaments that they host in Brighton, Michigan. I played there. I think that was my second year doing it. And we won the previous year, me and my team of my brother and a couple friends. And we went in the second year, and we did really well on Saturday. And Drew was, I think, our ump for our game. And he came up and talked to me after, and he's like, I like how you're pitching and hitting, and I was doing really well. And he was talking to me about drafting me, and I'm like, all right, it was August at the time. Draft's not till February, so I'm like, we'll see if he keeps up with it. And ended up messaging me back, and he's like, I want you still, and worked out. I'm not sure that most of the people in the league know how old I am either, though. Saylor thought I was like 20 years old last year, so maybe
it's important to remember this year was only the third draft they've ever had. So there was only one other previous draft where he could have been drafted, and he was the number one overall pick last year. So
Drew seems like the kind of guy who, after he came up to you and said he liked you, he probably told you, don't try too hard for the rest of this. I don't need anybody else seeing what I'm seeing. Does that sound about right?
He knew at the time he had the first overall pick, so he was comfortable with telling me and letting me go. And a couple of the other guys talked to me about it too, but they knew Drew already talked to me, so they knew if Drew takes me, they had no chance of stopping it.
All right. Again, being 23, you're of the legal age. We recently saw a DraftKings promo before the game a few weeks ago, which got us all excited.
Yeah.
I've been told you'll put a bet down from time to time. You have a good bad beat or big win, a story you can think of sweating a game that either hurt you or made you real happy when it happened?
I had one a couple years ago, maybe not even a couple years ago. I had a parlay going, and I forget the other legs, but one of them was I had the Bucks minus like 5.5 or something, and they were up by like 7 points, and somebody on the other team missed a shot, and they fouled Giannis with half a second left. They're up 5. I need them to get up by 6. Giannis is going to the line to shoot 2. He bricks both of them, ruins my whole parlay. It wasn't much. I put like 15 to win like 150 or something like that. And I was so pissed, just standing there, throwing my hat down. This guy can't make one free throw. You're in the NBA. You're getting $30-something million, and you can't cover my spread.
I've been in that situation before. The thing I usually like to scream is, there's nobody guarding you. It's literally a free throw. Just make one of them. All it has to do, it's just got to be game 6 of the finals, and then he'll make them.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's kind of a long shot.
Jojo, these MLW guys love the parlays, huh?
Yeah, they're still young. They don't get it.
Love it.
Parlays, nothing will drain your account faster than parlays.
We're all in college, so we're looking for the quick money, the big money. We're $10 wins you 150. That sounds great to me.
Understandable. Totally get it.
I did this with we did this with Jimmy the first time he was on, because just like this time, we're recording a little bit in advance. So I don't have a game that I can get your suggestion to bet on, but with Jimmy, I just asked him, and I'll ask you if you had $10, because you do, because I'm going to do it, and you can plunk it on any team in the fake baseball, Major League Baseball, to win the World Series. Who would you like?
Right now?
Yep. And I'll even use DraftKings, even though they don't sponsor this show yet. They are affiliated with Major League Wiffle Ball, so I'll use them.
I mean, just looking at it right now, everyone loves the Yankees, but they're
really short number. That's 4-1. That's all you can get on that.
Yeah, I know. It's bad odds, and they're postseason chokes. So I don't like them too much.
You think for a second. I'm going to tell you what Jimmy did. Trevor, you'll like this. Jimmy took the White Sox, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we were getting 22-1 at the time. And the last time, how they'll offer you a buyout of your of my $10 bet. The last time they offered me a buyout, it was $3. Pretty not the best bet out of Jimmy North there.
Hasn't aged well.
No, I'm not sure they win very much. All right, Brendan, what do you like?
I hate to say it, but I like the Astros right now.
All right.
I think Justin Verlander's back to form, and he's pitching really well. He can be the number one guy in the postseason, I think, again, and their hitters are doing well, so I like them.
All right.
Not that I personally like them, but I like them to win the World Series.
Courtesy of Fade the Mahoney, you have a $10 wager at 5.5-1 on the Astros to win the World Series. So that will go in my bucket here, along with that garbage White Sox pick from Mr. Norp.
Did you see the Altuve play the other day? It was amazing.
I don't think so. What was it?
There was a single to right field. They threw it into him at second base, and he faked it to throw as the guy was running around first. And the guy who was running around first just was like thought he was joking around. And so he's pretending like he was going to catch the ball from him. And then he threw it to the catcher who was standing right behind him and tug him out. It was amazing.
It's awesome.
That's known cheater, Jose Altuve, right?
Smart baseball that will win them the World Series.
That's right. I'm trying to think. Trevor, I think I've gone through everything on my list here. You got anything else to ask the Red Baron before we say goodbye for the day?
I don't have anything else. I'll tell you, JoJo. I don't know if we had started recording together this time last year when the Cobras and Wildcats played. I can't remember if we did or not, but if you hadn't seen that series from last year, go back and watch it. It was in the rain, and there's some really cool moments, especially in the second game. There's a home run when the tornado sirens were going off. It's pretty cool game to watch.
That one does not ring a bell, but I will definitely check it out. Again, everybody go buy some jerseys, join MLW Patreon. Again, the jerseys, if you do a podcast like this, they make great curtains behind you. I've made some new friends recently on Instagram. Blade Walker, Nick Saylor, and Alec Warda have all reached out recently, so hopefully they'll be joining the show as well. Our recent guests have been Ryan Cratch and Dallas Allen. Those have been our last two guests. We have our big draft coming up with Cheatham and Chadwick for Slate 4. That's coming up. All-star stuff coming up. I think that's everything. Sound good?
New lines for the rest of the season also.
Oh, yeah. Again, to give you credit, you've done mostly well on your preseason stuff. You missed on the Predators, and That's about it, right? Everything else has been pretty good.
And well, Ryan and the Predators. Let's
Well,
include
That's
Ryan.
all in one bucket.
Yeah.
That's all right. And it's early. All
Yeah.
right. That'll do it. Brendan, thank you so much for joining us. Give Drew a little bit of crap for me when you see him tomorrow.
I will.
Okay.
Thank
But
you for having me.
Yeah.
I love you guys' show. Keep it up. I'm sure all the MLW guys, obviously, they love it. They're following you on Instagram now, and
Yeah.
we'll keep promoting you too.
Oh, that's
good.
great.
Thank you.
You know what I don't do enough of? Hey, everybody, like and subscribe. That's something you're supposed to do on YouTube. I never say that. Like and
Yeah.
subscribe.
Like,
Please.
subscribe, comment.
Yeah.
Share with 50 or 500 friends. That would help us a lot. All right. Thanks a lot, Brendan, and good gambling, everybody.
Thank you.